Hello, everybody. Happy day. I am excited to be on with you here and talk about all things masterminds again. I've been getting a lot of questions about masterminds, what they are, who they're for, differences between all of the different masterminds. And if you didn't catch it, the other day I did on Tuesday a Facebook Live with my friend and client Jessica about all things masterminds, the differences between paid ones and free ones and peer-led and facilitator-led, and the pros and cons of all of them. So go and check that. And today we are hopping on to talk more about the experience of being in a mastermind and how maybe it's different than working one-on-one with somebody and why maybe somebody would want to join them. And get a different view of an experience. So I shared my experience on the other call, how I've been a part of them. I actually formed my own when I was first starting out with some support for women, and I've done that. And then I took a kind of hiatus from them for a while because I didn't really believe that they served me well because I was getting lost in the shuffle. So then I invested highly on one-on-one coaching. And then I've kind of come full circle, and now I actually see the beauty in how the collective can really support each other too. So there's lots of reasons. We also talked a lot last time, and I'm going to have Kathleen is going to be on with me. She's on with me right now. I'm going to bring her on very shortly. And the other day we also talked about how being a solo entrepreneur, which is usually whether you have people in your team, but when you are kind of building your business and you have a business and you tend to be kind of the one in charge or your own person, sometimes it's nice to have other people to talk to. It's nice to have that hive mind and people to reflect on. And it's also sometimes fun to have people that are in different industries than you. That's something that Jessica talked about last time, because it brings a totally different perspective of life and business, and you can actually start helping each other out. So I'm going to bring on Kathleen, who has been a friend of mine, a client of mine. We've been coworkers a long time ago. Like, this lady has my heart, and I love this lady. So I'm going to bring her on screen. And so as we are doing this, if you guys have any questions, please post them in the comments, or if you just want to say hi. And I guess the question of the day is, have you participated in a mastermind before? Yes or no? Okay. And then the next question would be, if yes, was it a peer-led or was it like a mastermind or a facilitator-led, that kind of thing? Those are the questions that I have for you today. We're going to bring Kathleen on. There's Kathleen. Hey, girl.
Hello. How are you doing?
Yes. And we are on Be Live today, so it's a little harder for me to see comments and if people are even watching, but I'm just excited to talk to you because it's nice to have somebody on screen with me. So, Kathleen, hello.
Hello, dear. I'm glad to be here. This is always exciting. One of my favorite topics, our sister mind, for sure.
Yes, our sister mind. So great. So I guess the first question is, you can even say a little bit about you and your background, because you and I originally came from an animal science background together, but we both, our paths have diverged, and you are off in doing some amazing things in the world. I'm always so proud of the stuff that you're doing. So maybe just a little bit about you, and then maybe why you joined the Sister Mind, which has now been 3 rounds. We're going into 3 rounds of it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Sure. Like Gina said, we started out together in a sales capacity. Animal science, definitely animal-centric. That kind of rules our world. Mm-hmm. Moved off into academics after our time together. And a unique opportunity was presented for me to step outside of a traditional employment role, really own some of the pieces that I wanted and maybe get rid of some of the pieces I didn't, or at least try to figure out how to get rid of some of those. So I find myself now the owner of Working Dog Enterprises, which allows me to focus on working dogs in total, which my emphasis is search and rescue dogs. I'm a canine handler and have been for going on 16 years now. So the personal investment really sparked my interest in combining the science from the animal science background, the value of research, the value of putting good scientific practices to use for most efficiency, especially in our world where people's lives are literally on the line. And then tying in kind of the marketing piece and being able to share my passion for education. And so finding myself in this, it was a unique position, as everybody out there who's a solo entrepreneur, an entrepreneur of any sort, you're creating your own path. It's really different when you grow up. You want to be, when I'm 6, I'm going to be a doctor or a lawyer or a veterinarian. Once you diverge off that path, there's no sign. Sometimes there's no gravel. It's just a machete and a bunch of tall weeds. And so that was kind of the point with that. When one late night, flipping through Facebook, killing time, not sleeping, and there you were. And it was a complete gut decision to reach out. And we started out doing the one-on-one coaching, which was fantastic, right? And it, we did that session together, but very quickly the Sister Mind opportunity came up, and as Gina shared, I am going in all in for the 3rd round, and can't wait to share some of the most valuable parts with you guys.
Yeah. It's funny, going with gut feeling, which is something we talk a lot about in the Sister Mind. So, we've kind of weaved in human design, which a lot of people still don't even know about, but like going with your own unique design, how you make decisions. And something that Jessica even said last time I asked her, like, why are you continuing? Why? And she's like, it just feels good. Right? She was like, it just feels good. It's a gut feeling, which I was so proud to hear her say, because she's not used to leading with her feelings. And so it's been really fun. And so to hear you say that again, is like, I just knew, right? This is something that I needed. I needed this. I might not even know all the details yet, but there's something, pulling me. This is actually one of the things that I love to talk about, right? Like being pulled versus being pushed into something. And so I didn't know you were going to say that. And that made me so happy that you said that. So tell me, since you've done a couple rounds with us, and those of you listening, it doesn't really, we are specifically talking about the Sister Mind, but in masterminds in general, there's so many different kinds, like I talked about. This one that Kathleen's been in is the facilitator led, so I've been leading it, but it's really a give and take. I feel like I get so much nourishment from these women as well. But it is a 6 month, so that's why we tend to sit for, we're together for a longer period of time. I think at one point it was a 4 month when it first started, but generally a 6 months, you're really committed to these women and working together and supporting each other. So what have you found moving into one-on-one and then diving into a group mastermind, which I know you also get me one-on-one, because that's one of the things that I do, is I still love the one-on-one aspect of it. What has been your experience in the Sister Mind, in this mastermind?
You bet. I think the biggest thing leading just to starting to work with you, to the one-on-one, into the Sister Mind, into the next Sister Mind, and now I'm going into this one with a totally different mindset, I guess, because what I found when I called you the first time, or Facebook messaged, or however that went, to be honest, I don't know what I don't know. And I think that applies to this. Like, just trust your gut to do it, because by reaching out, we dove into things. I think probably, I'm guessing many of the folks listening in are thinking, oh good, we're going to talk about best accounting practices, and maybe someone will show me how to manage my calendar, and they'll have a really good idea on marketing strategies, and all of that's super valuable. And we have dabbled into different resources because someone says, hey, did you know there's these virtual assistants, for example? Or,
right. Yeah, you didn't even know what a virtual assistant was. Yeah.
Right. I mean, exactly. And so the thing I've learned is that this specific container is not about the business. It's about the person who's leading the business. And that the more that I have clarity and direction and confidence in how I act and how I make decisions, the better business part comes naturally. And I didn't know that. And so when we first started talking in the individual sessions, it was an eye-opener. There's a natural flow in working with you that sort of opened doors, and we think we're going this way and we end up veering this way, and it just very naturally happens. And so coming into the first group setting, full disclosure, I'm traditionally not a group project kind of gal. You know,
I thought you shared that. Yeah.
this will be interesting. And, you know, some days I crack up because I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much to share. I can't wait to get on and get feedback. And other days I'm like, I got nothing. I'm here to listen and cheer, or I'm so tired, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to contribute. And you're just at the right place at the right time, going from the one between the two of us to adding a few other people who are in the same mindset, wanting to kind of get to the same end goal. Mm-hmm. The universe just puts us right in the right spot, because once we move to a group, the right person brings something and the right person is there to take it away. And it continues to shock me. I know our friend Sharon will say, of course it is, but that's been the part, like you don't know what you don't know, but you always get what you get, just exponentially happens more, better, bigger in the collaborative. And so I can't even tell you how to set up, to you, those considering the mastermind, how to set up your expectations, because you can't envision what's possible when you put this type of group of women together in this particular format. It's been mind-blowing. I'm somewhere I never thought I was. I didn't even know I was supposed to get here. I didn't even know there was a place. I mean, and yet here I am, and it couldn't be better. It's not just what I wanted, or what I envisioned when I first reached out. It is better.
Oh, that makes me so happy. It's so interesting too, right? Like, you don't know what you don't know, right? I love that you keep on saying that, because it's like, you don't. And when we bring a close-knit, trusting, vulnerable group together, we can start reflecting and sharing. And what you said earlier about, like, you're actually somewhere where you didn't even know was even possible, or you didn't even know existed, but it's better than you thought. Like, that gives me goosebumps, right? Because we don't know what we don't know. And so you're actually, and this goes even back to what you said even a little while earlier, is like, you have diverged off the traditional path. You know, there's no road. You literally have a machete in the weeds. And so you actually don't know where you're going, right? If we really use that metaphor, is like, you don't know where you're going. And so you don't have a map. And so that can be a very scary place, right? Like, we feel alone, we don't know what we're doing. But when you can get some other minds together and get some support, it at least feels less scary. And at least it feels like you have somebody cheering you on and helping you get where you want to go, and bring clarity into maybe where you want to go.
The clarity piece is huge. You know, while you're standing there, you know, weeds up to here, you can't see in any direction, and you have to make a gut move. And I think that's probably been one of the biggest takeaways from the Sister Mind, is understanding, taking in components of the human design, really down in core desired feelings, that it's not about getting my QuickBooks done right. It's about acting from a certain way. And that, you know, when you're out hiking and you get lost, you look to the sun, right? It tells you which direction to go. Well, that doesn't work when you're in the weeds of entrepreneurship. You know, the sun is not particularly helpful. We need something more business minded to drive us. And I think that's been one of the biggest take homes, is to continue, you know, that internal compass. I hear it, I can see it more clearly. I know it exists. I didn't even know there was that. You know, you operate, society says to. My dad told me growing up I should. The commercial says, the Facebook chatter leads me this way, but those aren't the most productive compasses. And so we've kind of chipped away a lot of that baloney and are developing our internal compasses based off the right, you know, we have the right north. We're finding our own true north, and that really has made a world of difference.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, you can say it better than I can say it half the time. You're right. No, because it makes a lot of sense. And getting out of the shoulds. And, you know, one of the things that you said earlier was like, yeah, like, sometimes when we think we're getting together as a group of entrepreneurs to, like, share strategies, and how do I create a course, and how do I do, you know, marketing, but it's not really about that. Yes, that's, to me, and you've heard me say this many times on the system, like, that's the easy part. A lot of people don't think that's the easy part, but the easy part, because that's this information, right? It's a how-to, right? In which we can find anywhere online is how to do this, how to do that, how to be more efficient, how to set up your calendar, like all the things. But like you said, it's the individual. It's getting out of your own way. It's learning how to trust your gut. It's learning how to make better decisions. It's learning how to really do the things that are, going to align with you versus a should that shows up in your life. I don't know. I really like the way you said that, because I think that what people think that they want when they're starting a business, or even just wanting to succeed or grow their business, they think they just need more information.
Right. Well, I think if I were to market the Sister Mind, if that was my job, I think about all the course development stuff I've been reading about lately and diving into that world. And so many things sell. People want the solution, right? So 5 ways to improve your time management or to maximize your calendar. So the Sister Mind there's the 5-step program. You can get that really easy to follow. It's just not the steps that you think it's going to be. It has nothing to do with your calendar and your, and your title and your logo. And
right.
It's exactly what you're just saying. It's driving from the right place, trust, identifying and knowing your core desired feelings. Get out of your own way. I mean, there's a step program. It's just not I would say it's a linear step program, but there really is, 10 secrets. It's just not the 10 secrets that I think everybody thinks they should be looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really so amazing that what I've noticed, and I know you've noticed because you've been in the Sister Mind for a couple rounds now, is the commonality that we're all experience during different times. So this is the thing that you don't experience when you are by yourself, just trying to, go through the weeds by yourself without any support, or if you have a one-on-one coach. What I've even noticed facilitating this is we see themes, right? And I've always known there's, because many people that watch my Facebook Lives, I'll come on. Most of my Facebook Lives are based off of what I've heard my clients say that week. And so I usually come on and talk about the theme of the week. And because it makes sense, because I'll have like 3 clients talk about the same thing, right? Well, so what's cool about the Sister Mind, or like bringing minds together and you're all in a similar space, is we noticed that we talked about the waves that one time, right? That everybody was experiencing. And we've talked about different things that come into play. If you were by yourself, you would think it was all you. You would think, there must be something wrong with me. Why am I feeling this way? When you get into a mastermind, you're like, oh, holy crap, you're feeling that same way too. Oh my gosh, I just experienced something like that too. Like I just said that to myself the other day. And it's just been such a great experience to see how we can circle up together. I feel like it makes you feel less alone in your own silo of like what you're thinking.
Right. The benefits are exponential. The camaraderie, the information, the support, it's not a one-for-one. There's something about a collective, even a small collective like this. It is shocking to me, how I've shared with Gina in the past that I have often required very big signs from my God in my universe, like giant neon signs. And I feel like they're really big in the group. You can't, bigger than big. It gives you a clear direction, not a nudge, not a point, but coming together in the group and working through, talking through, sometimes just listening. Even there's been times where we've left the Sister Mind call where I haven't even had much to say. And what one member maybe was talking about, not necessarily my thing, but I'm sitting here and it was said in just the right way, in just the right context, that it triggered just what I needed to break that barrier. And as soon as we're done, I go, it just provides just what you need. And it's kind of magical how that always happens.
Yes, so magical.
So kind of scary sometimes, but it is. Everybody shows up and gives their best, and you're there at the time you're supposed to be, and has a way of being just what you need.
Yeah. I love hearing that. And I love hearing that from you too, because like you said before, you weren't really like a group person, and how like you're experiencing this and how this has actually been really helpful for you to move forward. And what I've noticed too in the group is not only are we noticing different themes at the same time and noticing that like you're not alone, but that you all are getting what you want faster. So like a success accelerator. So, and it's a word that I just came up with the other day, and I was like, oh my God, that makes sense, right? I think it was when I was talking to Jessica, like your trajectory. Remember, we talked a lot about velocity in the sister mind, and how things just start ramping up when for some, this is the magic. This is like the unexplained magic that I feel like that happens is when we get together in this way, we see the velocity take off, or we see the success accelerator in you creating the things you said you wanted, but you thought maybe were further out on your timeline, and then they're happening sooner than you thought.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And trust, I said it, not a group person. So the first time, it was just a magical experience, and surely that was just a fluke. Surely it was a fluke, right? Okay, but man, that was a pretty cool fluke. I'll try it again. And like I said, and it turns out to be a magical experience the second round in a whole different way. And going into this round, I know the exact right people, whoever is out there who's already signed up, are exactly who's supposed to be there. And the only validation, or whatever you want to call it, that I know that's true is just that gut feeling. Like I've just come to believe and see it happen one too many times now. And that dynamic, where whoever's out there thinking, maybe, but there's that little nagging voice that just says, just join. I feel like there's something, even if you don't know what it is, that's all I had, and it paying dividends.
Yes. Oh, love it. Yeah, it's really amazing. I've had a lot of people ask, like, well, is there like monthly themes? Is there like a structure to, and you're laughing because you know how I roll. And I've had people ask, like, well, is there like monthly themes? Are we going to learn about marketing? Are we going to learn about this? And so, that's a question that I've gotten asked a lot lately. And the whole answer, what is my answer to that? No. I'm not like, okay, this month we're going to talk about marketing, and this month we're going to get your finances in order. This is not what we do in the sister mind, right? It is, now there are some bases that we teach, right? So knowing your core desired feelings, knowing, your human design, which if you are new to coming into the circle, I will do that. We do that up front. And most people interested have either been to have worked with me somehow, been in my circle somehow, or come to my retreat or something like that. But I do have those systems set up that we can dive into that, so that we're all on the same page and we're all using the same language, right? And so what happens, right, is that there's no monthly themes, but we do goal setting, right? It's success accelerators. So we start out, what do you want to accomplish in the next 6 months? This is what a true mastermind really is, okay? If a mastermind is teaching modules and teaching topics every month, that's more of a group program, right? So like, that was the other thing that I had a question, be like, what's the difference between a group program and a mastermind? Well, a group program is like, I'm going to teach you this, and then we're going to get on a call and talk about it. I'm going to, and so it's not about the teaching. It's about holding the space and troubleshooting, getting out of your own way so that you can achieve your own individual, personal, and professional goals, right?
Yes.
And like we keep on opening the gates for you, right? Because sometimes you feel like the gates close on you. So how can we open it back up? And we're addressing it individually. And this is why I like to keep my masterminds small, because as you know, you each get your own individual time on the call. So if there's themes or something like that, we will definitely discuss those if there's something going on. But it's highly organic, which is how I roll, because there's no way I can plan 6 months out where you guys are all going to be and what you're going to need at that time. But as you know, like if you guys need legal advice, I have my friend who I can bring in and provide legal advice. Like if you need accounting, I can bring in somebody talking about like that. That's the easy part, right? Like we can do that, and that's easy. So I love that. I think that's really important, and it was a good question for somebody to ask.
Absolutely, and I think I don't know, it's not a normal part of business development. Nowhere in your business plan that you take to the bank or anything like that is there the part about what are you going to do to make sure that you, as the head of this new endeavor, have your head on straight. that your heart's in the right direction, that this is really what you're supposed to be doing. It's not a general part of any sort of entrepreneurial business process.
Right.
But that is, again, for these small organizations, Amazon does not run off of the heart of one computer programmer, right? Collectively, the system works, but that's not what we have here. We have small group entrepreneurs, small businesses, and it is the sum total of what we bring to the table, right? It is us in a business package. It's like what we bring to our families, only we're bringing us to the business world. And so I just can't emphasize that enough, the reality that, we're not working on the business part, we're working on the you part, because you are the business,
Yes. Oh,
feeling stronger there is that's what's made the business better. I'm not doing the business in spite of myself or at my own deficit. I'm making me stronger, clearer, healthier, happier, more directed, better directed, all those things. And that rubs off on the business, not the other way around. A successful success, we make the business in this capacity of entrepreneurs.
Oh my gosh. That's so amazing. That's a writer downer. Yeah. Yeah. And what I love about where you are is you're fairly newer. I mean, everybody's newer, but like compared to Jessica, who's been in business for like 7 or 8 years, and you are on the more earlier side. Oh, Lana just jumped on. Hey, Lana. And so like the difference is, right? So whereas Jessica had like 7 or 8 years of experience, she's done mastermind, she's done peer-led ones and things like that. I love how you're actually, I'm giving you some props here because you're ahead of the game. I know you didn't feel like it when you came into our world and came into my world. You were like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I don't even know. Like, you're like, this is new to me. The online world's new to me. But what I love is that like you're actually seeking help. You sought out help very early on, and now being a part of a mastermind fairly early on in your development. I want to commend you for that, because I think that sometimes we think we can't afford it, or we think that like when we're bootstrapping it, I know that's the word that you use, like when we're bootstrapping it, we're not going to pay for those things because we think that they won't pay off in dividends, because it's just, they think of it just a container. And so I don't know if you have anything to say about that, but.
It's funny, right before this call, I was at the accountant's, and, we're always revisiting, preparing for last year and this year, and going through certain expenses and things. And she's like, in this fee category, and she's a tough sell cookie, right? She's that mindset. And she's like, if you need write-offs, I'm like, no. Most valuable investment. Call that an asset. Do what you want. Like all of the growth you're seeing over these last couple of years couldn't have happened without it. Like that was out of her realm. And I think I couldn't have even, you wouldn't print a book for sell and do it from your home, inkjet that you've had since college. You get the right computer. And I've always been a fan, whether in my training, business, surround yourself with people who know more than you do about important areas. And so seek out the experts. You bring your expertise, but to bring it to fruition requires a lot of other people. I wouldn't do my own taxes. I wouldn't, that. This is the exact same service, right? Amazon doesn't do their own taxes, and I can't do this piece myself. So as valuable as a good accountant.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great.
More so.
Yeah.
More so.
Yeah. Well, and you're right. And sometimes even, and also Alana, if that's you who's on right now, could you comment or post something below, because we're using Be Live and I just want to see a comment because I'm seeing any. So just wanted to check in if that is Alana. Alana is also part of the Masterminds, so that's why I can nudge her and reach out to her. Oh yeah. So, a part of like, is it valuable? Like, I love what you said about it's just as valuable as an accountant. Thank you for that. I think that, it's really interesting when we can write it off as a business owner, because it is like personal growth and development and success, right? And business coaching and all that kind of stuff. So I see that too. So I'm really proud of you and how far you've come, for sure. The other thing too is like we're all from different industries, which is also really fun and interesting. What I've noticed with you all as I sit back usually and listen, and my favorite thing is when you guys start helping each other and like coaching each other, and you guys aren't even coaches, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so great, because you guys are just like picking it up, which is beautiful, right? But I love how like you're in the working dog industry, and then we had Jessica who she's a blogger, and she's a professional blogger, makes money blogging, but it's about a dog as well. And so there was these like little things of the commonalities. And then Alana, you know, is a master at creating online courses and, you know, ramping up somebody's business with that. And which is so funny because she's been a part of the Sistermind for a while too, but she has her expertise is actually coming in now, because you two are both like, well, I think I might do a course now. And she's like, I can help you with that, you know? And so it's been really interesting to see how you all are now utilizing each other to support each other in that way. And that really makes my heart sing. So I love seeing that. Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh my gosh, look at the time. My goodness. I was like, yeah, we'll only talk for a few minutes. I should.
That's how it happens.
I could talk. So, anyways,
well, I appreciate the opportunity to share. Whoever's out there listening, if you feel that little, like this might be for you, we hope you'll join us.
Yes, we have like 1 or 2 more spots open, and so I almost canceled and be like, we actually don't even need to go live, because I think that, you know. But I really just, even if you're not interested in the Sistermind specifically. It just brings the topic at hand. So talking about masterminds, do you need them? Do you not need them? If you have a big team and you have a colleague or a partner, you might not need one. But if you are, well, actually, I don't know. I mean, we can digress, right? Because like sometimes you need to get out of your silo and into, you know, some other places. So, you know, again, I think it's a gut reaction if you feel like you need that kind of support alongside working with a success mindset coach, which is what I do. But if anybody is calling, like if their heart is calling to do that, you guys can chat with me. You know, I definitely like to talk. It's not something that you can just like buy online. It's something that we want to talk, make sure you're a good fit with all the rest of the women and you're at the right place to be in a mastermind with us. But all the details are at ginafrescas.com/sistermind. And you can go check it out there. I'll post it in the comments afterwards. But any last words? I'm excited. So we go 6 months. We start the end of May. We'll go at the end of November, so it'll take us through almost the end of the year, and it'll be good times.
There's a lot of growth happening, and I just know what an important part this Sistermind is going to play and what's brewing, and I know that I can't even fathom where I'll be, and I know that being part of the Sistermind is absolutely key to getting to wherever that spot is. So, and if anybody has any questions or wants to chat, I'm also to share any more experiences offline as well.
Yes, thank you for offering that. Yeah, it'll be amazing. It's what you said, like you don't know where you're going, but you know you're headed in the right direction, right? So
absolutely.
All right. I know we've had a couple weeks hiatus since we closed up, and I think all of us have been like, okay, let's get this boat on the road. I actually missed chatting with you guys. So we will get started at the end of the month, and I will be seeing you really soon. And thanks for chatting with me.
All right. It was a wonderful visit, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.
Hold on.
Oh.